You may be surprised to learn it is normal to experience negative thoughts. In fact, they are part of our evolutionary makeup. We are programmed to scan our environment, searching for problems to fix, and that requires spending a significant amount of mental energy considering what-if or worst-case scenarios. Negative thoughts become a problem, however, when we start to believe they are true. Fortunately, a variety of tactics can help you quell negative thoughts and learn how to think more positively. Identifying and challenging your negative thoughts. Number 1. Identify your negative thoughts. Examine negative thoughts and worries by considering what types of cognitive distortions might be involved. In other words, determine what type of partial or non-truth your mind might be telling you. Cognitive distortions might include all or nothing thinking, black and white statements that lack any middle ground. You are either good or bad, wrong or right, and there is no complexity or in between. Overgeneralization, taking one negative experience and making it a hard and fast rule. These thoughts often include the phrases, you always, I never, or everyone. Mental filtering, filtering out all the positive elements of a situation and leaving only the negatives. Maybe you went on a fantastic date, but all you can focus on is that one awkward silence at the beginning of the night. Jumping to conclusions, drawing negative conclusions without a reasonable foundation of evidence, such as assuming we know what others are thinking or what will happen in the future. Catastrophizing, fixating upon worst-case scenarios and blowing small problems out of proportion. Emotional reasoning, believing that the way you feel right now reflects objective reality. If you feel poorly, then the current situation must be very bad. Shoulds and should not, holding yourself to a strict set of rules and creating unrealistic expectations of what you should and should not do. Labeling yourself or others based upon perceived shortcomings, even if we have much evidence to the contrary. Personalization, adopting personal responsibility for circumstances outside your control. If the party you planned is rained out despite the sunny forecast, you blame yourself for the bad weather. Magnification and minimization, you minimize your positive attributes while idealizing others. When someone gives you a compliment, you explain it away. Number 2. Record your negative thoughts. Create a thought diary, just for this purpose. When you have a negative thought, turn to a clean page and follow these steps. Write down the activating event, which could be a thought, event, or situation. An example would be, I had a big fight with my partner before work this morning. Write down the negative thoughts or beliefs that occurred during and after the activating event. Ask yourself, what was I thinking? What was I saying to myself, and what was going through my head at the time? An example might be, I've blown it. That's the end of the relationship. He's tired of putting up with me and doesn't love me anymore and he's going to leave me. Write down words describing how you feel and underline the one most associated with the activating event. For example, afraid, lonely, hurt. With afraid, underlined. Examine what you've written and seen if you notice any unhelpful thinking styles you might have used. For example, catastrophizing, jumping to conclusions, black and white thinking. Number 3. Test the truth of the thought. Make 2 columns under the negative thought, one to list evidence for your negative thought, one for evidence against your negative thought. Filling in these columns will allow you to see whether there is any truth to your negative thought. Continuing the example of fighting with your partner, the evidence for column might say, he got really angry and red in the face and stormed out of the house. He didn't call me during his lunch break like he usually does. The evidence against column might say, we've fought before, worse than this, and we can always talk it out. He has told me that he takes a while to cool down after getting angry, but when he's calmed down he's rational and willing to compromise. He told me earlier this week he has meetings all day today and won't be able to call me during lunch. He has said many times that he's committed to making our marriage work, no matter what. Fighting is unusual for us, etc. This process helps you look at your thoughts objectively. You analyze, assess, and evaluate your thoughts to see if they have any basis in truth, instead of accepting them without question. Number 4. Challenge the negative thought. Ask yourself the following questions about the negative thought and record your answers in your thought journal. How else might I view the situation? If I were not feeling this way, how would I view the situation? Realistically, what is the likelihood of that happening? How might someone else view the situation? Does it really help me to think this way? What are some helpful self-statements? Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe.